We're going to have to stomp them and squelch them basically individually. It's going to be super disgusting. Would you like to read a full description of that, or shall we just move on? Give me the gory details. Just to be clear, there's no bonus item or achievement or other special reward for reading the gross version, and it's going to be as long as I can stand to make it. Hit me. Hit me with your best shot. Okay. Crack, crack is the sound of me cracking my knuckles. Oh, this is like the spittoons. This is like the spittoons all over again. Nice. All right, here we go. You pick up one of the maggots, about the size and shape of medium to large. Also, I gotta turn the volume down a little bit. A medium to large sweet potato, or yam, depending on where you're from. But instead of brownish orange, it's a sickly white color, rigid like an earthworm, both fleshy and rubbery, and covered in clear, sticky mucus. It wiggles and pulses in your hand. You drop it on the ground and stomp on it. It bursts with a pop squelch sort of sound, spraying lumps of that pallid white flesh and thin greenish yellow juice in a circle around the point of impact. When you lift your foot again, it sticks to the floor and makes a slurp sound as you peel the sole of your shoe away. Hey, there's a Max with a resub. How you doing, man?
Big Mad Max just resubscribed for 28 months. No you.
No you. No you, Mix. How is, are you still on vacation, sir? Keep going. You pick up two more maggots. They wiggle in your hands, as though they can sense what's happening. The mucus covering them in your hands now has the texture and viscosity of slightly thinned down rubber cement. It glistens in the dim light and makes strands and webs between your fingers as you open and close your hands. You drop the two maggots on the ground and stomp on them, 1 foot each. Splorts black. They spray. The spray looks like lumps of old mayonnaise mixed with the juice from an expired camping glow stick. The added liquid is making the floor slimy instead of sticky now. And you have to move more carefully to keep your footing. You approach the pile again. Keep going. Last night here? Aw, yeah. Time to enjoy the last night. You pick up another maggot. It sticks to your hand, and as it rise, you can feel the glue-like mucus pulling softly at your skin. The fluids pumping around inside it make it pulse faintly. It's like a slowly beating heart. You squeeze it gently at first, then harder, but it has the rubbery resistance of a half-filled water balloon. Imagine a white balloon partially filled with warm green milk, and how it would feel to squeeze that in your fist. There's a thin, high-pitched squealing sound as it bulges at the ends. Then bursts, spraying you with, by appearances, rancid cottage cheese and antifreeze. Now's when you start to notice the smell. Keep going. This is a true story. Once when I was in junior high school, I tripped and skinned my left elbow on the sidewalk. A patch of bleeding road rash, a little larger than a quarter. I washed it off. A patch of bleeding road rash, a little larger than a quarter. I washed it off and put a bandage over it and forgot about it. Until a few days later when I noticed the smell. Because my classmates sitting near me had noticed the smell and wondered aloud where it was coming from. My injury had become infected. The bandage was soaked with pus. The smell is immediately identifiable, but if you've never smelled it, it smells a lot like rotting apples. About the time they are completely brown and soft and have started to leak and collapse under their own weight. Close your eyes and take a deep breath through your nose. And imagine that smell filling your sinuses, except with an undertone of sour milk. That's what you're smelling now. Keep going! You pick up a maggot in each hand and squeeze them. They thrash about in the hand. A thin, high-pitched noise like a pinhole in an air mattress. You close your eyes as they burst. Warm, clotted innards splatter against your face, then ooze down and drip onto your shirt. You might expect their insides to be cold, as insects are cold-blooded. But in fact, maggots generate a fair amount of heat through metabolism and muscular contraction. In terms of texture, it's like being splattered in the face with a bowl of warm, I don't know this one. Bolognese sauce? I have no idea. Or perhaps, more accurately, if someone projectile vomited onto your face after eating a bowl of warm Bolognese sauce. I don't think I'm saying that word right. The smell of rotting fruit and sour milk is thick in the air now. Some of the juice got into your mouth. I don't really have a point of comparison for the taste, but I imagine it tastes much the same as it smells. A little more rancid, maybe. You can't even stop now. Look, you can't even stop now. It's grayed out. You can't. It's gonna. Fine. Keep going. It's graded out. You can't stop now. Killing the maggots in 1 and 2s is clearly going to take too long, so you jump as high as you can and stomp heavily into the pile with both feet. The sound it makes is sort of a thwack, splat, thwack, crunch, splat, all at the same time, and you are up to your waist in thrashing white mucus-coated grubs. You lift a foot, but lose your balance and fall backwards into the pile. Imagine falling backwards into a ball pit filled with overripe tomatoes and long expired milk, except the tomatoes are alive and crawling on you. Now they have covered you. They are everywhere. You roll around, crushing the squirming maggots beneath you, feeling each distinct burst as the rubbery grubs pop under your weight and spray more yellow-green bile and lumps of white gristle into the growing pool of sweet and sour smelling slime. Keep going! Eventually you stop. Hey, you lied to me. I got something out of that. Eventually you stop, out of breath, but not wanting to breathe. It doesn't matter, because the putrid glue has gotten up your nose and in your mouth and down your throat, regardless of your desires. You might guess that you had become accustomed to the smell by now, but no. You still smell it, and you will never stop smelling that rotten fruit stench for the rest of your life. You are lying in a pool of chunky maggot stew, covered in the pulp of hundreds of burst grubs. Your clothes soaked entirely through to the skin with mucus and stinking green juice, every crevice filled with a pallid white curds. You are the ungodly avatar of putrescence and filth upon this miserable earth. Anyway, thanks for reading. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it, chat. I enjoyed it. That was great. I am totally clipping this and putting it on and uploading it.